Hey yo, hey yo, hey yo, ladies, gentlemen, fellas. Sunday, week 3. You all ready? You all got some energy? Whole bunch of people in here right now. Strong Island fishing up in this chat. We saw Andrew Smith. They already put in some super chats. Thank you. I'm going to answer those questions in a second for you, fella. Welcome, everybody. How's it all going? Week 3, exciting stuff. Everything's up over on the Patreons, and this is the last piece of content that I have for you. For not even for week 3, don't worry. Week 3 Monday Night Football video, that's coming out in like 4 hours. That comes out way early today because there's a huge game, if you have not heard, the Chiefs and the Ravens on Monday night. But look, I'm excited for this slate. We're going to be here for the next hour to hour and a half, depending on how the vibes are in this chat. I'm going to just answer a bunch of questions from season-long fantasy, jock market, whatever it might be. And yes, please do hit the like and subscribe button if you're watching live or on the replay. A bunch of questions are coming in. I'm going to answer as many as I can. I see Mike up in here. What's going on, Mike? How you doing? Yes, this video is sponsored by Jock Market. Jock Market right now, if you have not already heard, if you're brand new to the channel or maybe you've only heard once, you don't really know what it is to this extent, they are pretty much making a stock exchange and daily fantasy sports come together with a live betting aspect to it. You could just buy and sell stocks. Hopefully you're doing this well and you're bidding low and you're buying low and you're selling high, so you could actually get these stocks, which are the players, and you can end up having all the dollar rooskies in the long run. So it's pretty much just a stock exchange. You can get it in the Apple Store down below. It's coming very soon to the Google Play Store, Android, all that type of stuff. I've gotten a lot of questions about that. But the whole premise of it is just based on fantasy points ranked, right? They have their own type of projections to give you a little bit of a help. If you have my projections, I think it'll give you even more of a help at trying to decide more times than not where these players are going to line up. But look, if you think that somebody's going to finish 15th overall, and their true value is somewhere around like 18th overall, and you can buy low on them, that's an ideal spot. Now, that's not always going to be the case, especially as these markets get efficient, but no market is extremely efficient or 100% efficient. Otherwise, there'd be no reason to be buying or selling or anything like that, right? So there's no perfect information in a market. So Jock Market, daily fantasy sports, meets the stock exchange. You can check it out. It's linked down below to download the app, to go to their website, all that type of stuff. I already have my shares in for today. Last week, I was like backing into a parking spot 1 minute before the bidding closed at noon. And some people, I think Rick was one of them, Rick Run Good, Rick Gaiman, just outbid me on I think 70% of my bets. The first week I did the free markets. Last week I did the actual markets. They have a $1,200 free markets, but they have cash markets, which sets them apart from anybody else. You can actually put as much money as you want to in there as a sort of investment for that day, and really it is just for that day for the NFL. Actually, it goes into Monday too, which there might be a little bit of an edge. Rick was saying on Twitter, those guys not getting enough prices. So yeah, I have about 4 or 5 players and a bunch of shares of them so far. I'm going to see what happens as we get closer to lock. Things are just going to get crazy in the last 5 minutes. But I recommend it 100%. Jock Market, that's the logo up above. So, how y'all doing? Andrew says, Thielen or Diggs today? I'm going to be going with Thielen there. You donated $2. I appreciate that. And he says, thanks for the Gallup advice last week. I finished 5th. Nice job, Andrew. Nice work, fella. Finished 5th. In what contest? The big one? That's some good monies. What do we got? All right, so I'm going to put this all up in here. I got the live chat going. Let's just start answering some questions. Hollywood Brown or Cooper Kupp? Let me get some Cooper Kupp. Thoughts on Russell Gage? Yeah, I don't really have any. So I am playing 150s today. I'm currently not in any 20 maxes. I might run 20 max lineups, but I'm playing 150 single entries, 3 max, and I do have a cash lineup. So let me see right now with Russell Gage. I'm not really big at all on that team today, Atlanta. I'm not getting much Russell Gage. Julio, I think he's going to play, and from all accounts, it seems like he will not be 100% healthy, so I'd be concerned if you're a Julio owner if he does play. If he doesn't play, well, then obviously, yeah, Russell Gage gets bumps. Mainly, the biggest bumps will be, yeah, Ridley might see an extra target or two, continue to be a priority in the red zone. But outside of that, it's going to be just the guys that are going to fill in, like Blake, all those types of guys. The man with the longest last name in the world that starts with a Z. Andrew Smith donates $2 and says, would you consider meeting up for a golf round? I'm going to be golfing for the first time in a decade, sometime later this week. So that's about the only time I've ever golfed. So I would consider meeting up for drinks or something like that. But also, you never know with strangers on the internet. I'd probably meet up in a very public place. I ain't trying to get got. But yeah, no, golf probably not the thing. Unless I get half decent, I just can't be going out there looking like a schmuck. I'm going to be going out there looking like a schmuck with some of my close friends, but I'm okay with that. Why this chat be mad big right now? Let me pull this chat back out. I had to delete this chat. Let me pull this thing back out. Got mad big. Is Sanders getting too chalky for tournaments? Philly defense stack Sanders too chalky? I mean, I have no interest in stacking defenses with running backs. People that want to hype up the correlation of it, it's a little bit overrated in my opinion. And yeah, so I mean, he's going to be chalky. I have no interest in going below the field. I might be double the field on Sanders today. And I'm not going to be double the field. He'll be highly owned, but he is going to be my highest owned running back, and he will be, I believe, above the field on him. How many lineups do you put in the Millie Maker? Currently 0. I normally don't like playing the Millie Maker. Sometimes, most of the time, I'll put my 3 max and usually my single entry lineup in there. So like 1 to 2 to 3. Last week, that's what I did. The week 1, I had just tickets to the Millie Maker. So I played like 5 to 10 tickets. But the Millie Maker is a terrible contest. Right now, 0. And normally I tell myself I'll keep it that way. But usually I end up throwing at least my single entry lineup in there. Because if I bank like all the single entry contests or place highly in there, I'll have extreme FOMO. But it really shouldn't be FOMO because I recognize that by not putting a lot of lineups into the Millie Maker that, in my opinion, I'm positive value. Like, there's some really good tournament players out there. They still got to beat 500,000 to 1 million people, right? Put their 150 lineups. That's probably not ever going to happen for most of them. Hey, Sal, 1 wins every single week. Sure. 17 people out of the... So 17 people are going to win the Millie Maker out of these 17 weeks of the NFL season, right? At least for the regular season. And they're going to be battling like 15 million people to do it. So all the other people that didn't win, yeah, I'm probably going to be in that majority. So I have no interest in the Millie Maker. It's a really good marketing tool. It helps my channel in terms of like people play DraftKings because there's $1 million up top, so they look at more videos like indirectly. But the actual Millie Maker itself, I think, is awful. Drake or McKinnon? Drake. I have more interest in Jeff Wilson Jr. a lot more than McKinnon this week in terms of I have no McKinnon right now and I have a good amount of Jeff Wilson Jr. Allen Robinson and Robert Woods. Allen Robinson. Do you think Deontay Johnson in cash? Yeah, it seems okay. Yeah, he seems cash game viable. What happened to Russ to make him an X instead of a yes? I'm just not getting a lot of Russ. It's easier to stack up the Cowboys side. I think the Cowboys stacks are better. There's a lot of ease to stack up Arizona, especially if you're just doing like a Hopkins and Kyler Murray stack. I don't have running backs with any of my quarterbacks currently. So, like, yes, Russell Wilson, they're stacking options. There is right now DK and Lockett. But outside of that, I'm not playing one of the 3 tight ends that might play and catch 2 passes. I'm not playing the wide receiver 3 and David Moore, who, sure, he might catch 2 touchdowns this season, and he caught one of them last week. So there's two options. So I have a decent amount of Russ, and by a decent amount, I mean I have him in 5% of my lineup. So like I think that I'll be below the field on Russ, but I'm okay with that because I'm much, much more above the field on guys that have a lot of stacking options and a lot of my Seattle ownership. Like I'll have more ownership to the wide receivers than I do Russ because, and a lot more because they'll just be in other lineups or there'll be run back options on the Dallas stacks that I have a lot of. So yeah, these yes, nos, and maybes pretty much, and the maybes are just like I have them, just not as much. They're just reflective of like what my ownership is right now. It doesn't mean that guys like you can't play Josh Allen. Like this is what I'm doing. Don't just 100% say, oh shit, he's got now Josh Allen instead of a maybe as a no and Big Ben instead of a maybe as a no. I got to take him out. No, like you can go ahead and play them. I think they're fine plays. I'm just not getting any, so I'm not going to put them on the sheet and be like, I think this guy's good when I'm not playing him, right? So I would play them. Like if I had 150 more lineups, I'm sure they would make the lineups. But in 150 lineups, they're just not making it. They're not making it up to the top of the projections and the stacks and all that. Joshua Kelly or Deontay Johnson? Deontay Johnson. Thoughts on Devin Singletary? He looks pretty damn good. Is Sanders getting too chalky? No. Not in my opinion. Is today and Amari crushing all the owners of Lamb and Gallup? I mean, Amari's going to be the highest owned, so, I mean, probably. He looks okay. Metcalf versus Lockett versus Cooper. I prefer Amari Cooper. He won't even be the highest owned. I think Lockett will be the highest owned. I prefer Amari. Kenny G safe today? If he's good to go, he's good to go to me. Do you like KJ Hamler at all today? I have 4%. Any love for Antonio Gibson? Yeah, I have some. Low single-digit ownership, but I have some. Good morning, Dallas. Thanks for the stream, says Caleb. Thank you, sir. Great day for DFS. Sure is. CJ Welsh says not just first place pays out in the Millie Maker, though. Yes, but that if you play the Millie Maker long term, you're going to need to win first. You can argue with me, maybe second place, which is only $100,000 compared to first being $1 million, so awful payout structure. But if you don't win the Millie Maker and you plan on playing the Millie Maker for 5 to 10 years, you're going to need to win the Millie Maker, and maybe second place. Maybe second place will make you positive EV in the Millie Maker if you win that. Outside of that, you winning $2,000 finishing 100th in the Millie Maker, or like whatever that payout is, it might only be like 500. You're not going to be winning, especially when your buy-in is, for most of the weeks, $3,000 when the Millie Maker turns back to $20 if it's not already there this week. That's how much I've looked at the Millie Maker this week. I literally haven't. The Millie Maker is already back to $20. So if you're paying $3,000 a week and you don't win the Millie Maker, and most people, they're not just profiting in the Millie Maker, right? You're either winning the Millie Maker, you're either finishing in like a top 5 or top 10 spot, or you're losing money in the Millie Maker. And over the long run, you're either winning the Millie Maker, maybe finishing second depending on how long you're playing, or you're losing money. Like, there's no reason to put $3,000 if you're maxing out the Millie Maker or one lineup to hope to win 30 back, right? Win minimum cash the Millie Maker. That is as pointless as it gets because the minimum cashes are much higher in the Millie Maker than any other contest. You can win a lot more money. The whole point of it is opportunity cost. If I told you you'll have a better chance to win and winning more money when you do win in every other contest on the slate, you would tell me, yeah, I want to do that. But when there's a prize pool up top that says $1 million, the psyche and the whole gambler and inside every single human, at least men probably, for sports when it comes to that, is just saying, yeah, you know what, I'd rather try and win $1 million when there's 0% chance you're going to win $1 million. Oh, sorry, 0.00001% chance. Hey, Sal, what's up? Pick one for my flex. Edelman, Gallup, or Diggs? I'll go Edelman. Is Kenny G 100% this week? I mean, he's been practicing limited. He's probably not 100%. His quotes say that he's not 100%, but if he's out there, I'm going to assume he's playing. They're going to be careful with McKinnon on that turf. Bad knees. I think that's a good take, yeah. I just think that either way, McKinnon's kind of like the 1B back to Wilson's 1A in terms of how they're going to use him. I don't know if that's true in real life, like in terms of my opinion, but in terms of how they're going to use him, yeah. Hamler or lock and cash? No. I mean, Hamler can go out there and have 2 catches to 30 yards. It doesn't kill your cash lineups, but definitely doesn't make him a lock. Favorite Super Draft tight end, somebody says. Yeah, shout out Super Draft. Favorite Super Draft tight end is probably going to be Waller. Waller right now. If I'm playing just one lineup. DK or Lockett? I like both a good amount. I have more Lockett. If you're playing one lineup, I would go DK. DK is going to be like half his own. What do you think about Joshua Kelly today? I'm getting no Joshua Kelly. So I like Joshua Kelly a lot. UCLA, rookie, all that stuff, getting a lot of touches. I just have none of him right now. It's hard to get a lot. They priced him up. And if you're playing him solely because you want to believe in the hype of Joshua Kelly seeing 20 to 25 touches today, which I'm not too sure I believe in already. Like, he's priced up. So I currently don't have much interest in Joshua Kelly when there's other really cheap running backs in the slate or guys that are just completely mispriced, in my opinion, like Jonathan Taylor, like Sanders, like Kenyon Drake, like Joe Mixon, Chris Carson to an extent, Devin Singletary now mispriced. So I just can't get to Joshua Kelly. Jordan Reed today, Andrew Smith says he donates $2. I appreciate it, Andrew. Thank you. Yeah, so Jordan Reed I'm not going to have too much interest in. I think I have 2% Jordan Reed. I would have a lot more interest if Jimmy G was good to go, but Jimmy G is not playing this week. He might play in week 4, though. They're saying that quickly. They're saying they're trending positively for week 4, a lot of players. George Kittle, Jimmy G, Michael Thomas. But I currently have Jordan Reed in 4 of my 150. Yeah. Jeff Driscoll, I don't think he's a terrible quarterback, but he's a mobile quarterback, and he targets wide receivers well more above the league average than he does tight ends and running backs. Sal, Eckler versus Drake. I prefer Drake. Gallup and Henry or Lamb and Ingram. I'll go Lamb and Ingram. That's like a wash. Like Gallup and Lamb, I have Gallup, I think, projected for more. I think Lamb will come in higher owned. So it's kind of a wash, and it's not even that far off in the ownership. The projections are not that far off. It's like a point difference. So like a lot of people are going to drive themselves crazy with Gallup versus Lamb today. I don't really see how you choose. Yeah, Gallup's matchup is going to be good. CeeDee Lamb's matchup in the slot, it's going to be overhyped, but it's going to be really good. And they're both going to project out for like 14, 15 fantasy points, and they're both going to be like 12% on. So there's no difference between the two of them. You can tell me Gallup's due. Lamb's seeing more volume. Lamb has a better matchup. Lamb's just running everything out of the slot, which is very good for his skill set. So they both look pretty similar. I don't even know where I go. Like, I don't have to make that decision in my single entry lineup or my 3-max yet. I probably lean Lamb, but I like both a lot. Any interest in Boyd or Green? I think I have like 1% of each. I actually think that AJ Green's a fine play. I think a lot of people are just talking down on AJ Green right now through like 2 weeks. It's more Joe Burrow than AJ Green in my opinion, which also means it's more the offensive line. AJ Green should have 2 more catches for a touchdown and 60 yards. Joe Burrow's overthrown him. And one of them was like a blatant touchdown in week 1 if anybody's watching that. And then if that's the case, nobody's really on the back of AJ Green right now. So, I mean, I think he's been fine. He's been getting a ton of volume. I think, if anything, it's been Joe Burrow, who's been currently, in terms of yards per attempt efficiency, the dead last quarterback in the league. Mike Davis, yay or nay? I'll probably be around the field, low single digits. I don't have any real need. He's expensive. When Mike Davis is now more expensive than relative to what you're going to expect. He's more expensive than Jeff Wilson. He's more expensive than Devin Singletary, right? He's not that far off for some other guys like David Johnson. Like, David Johnson is close in price to Mike Davis today. Yeah, Mike Davis could see a 15-touch workload, but he's also Mike Davis. How about Hamler as a cheap play? I have 4%. Hey, Sal, can you increase the time limit for the slow mode so you can actually answer the different questions and not the ones, please? The same one, please? I'm answering different questions. If your question's not being answered, I apologize. The slow mode's up to 10. I can make it a little bit higher. But as far as I know, I answered all different questions. I will bump it from 10 seconds to 12 seconds. There's your increase. Hopkins necessary in cash? I'd be trying to prioritize him in cash probably. Yeah. Unless you have a different build, I'd try and probably prioritize him there. N'Keal Harry, your thoughts? I like N'Keal Harry a lot today. Him and Edelman are questionable. I think they'll both play. It seems like no worries there. I like N'Keal Harry a lot. He is a top 5 owned wide receiver for me. For season long, is Tyreek Hill still in play? Yeah, of course. Zeke or Chubb today? Zeke. Cooper or Lockett? Cooper. Herbert and the Chargers, thoughts? I like Herbert and the Chargers a lot today. They're my 4th highest owned stack. Justin Herbert or Josh Allen? Justin Herbert for me. I mean, what you talking about season long? I go Josh Allen. If you're talking about DFS and how to stack, it's Justin Herbert the way that I make lineups. Robbie Anderson today in cash, question mark? Not for me. Godwin or Evans? Godwin. Terry McLaurin today versus the Browns, question mark? I don't even know if I got any scary Terry today. I got 3% Terry McLaurin, so sure. Do you like Ridley if Julio's out? It'll make him look a little bit better, but people really misunderstand when one player's out what happens to the other player. Like, how much more can Ridley do? He might see an extra target in his projection. It's going to help Blake and whoever the hell, Oldirius Z, whatever, Zacharias, whatever the fuck his last name is. It's going to help them more, in my opinion. Julio, I mean, even if he plays, he's going to basically be out. I don't think he's going to do much. He's going to be very limited, they're saying. Thoughts on Leonard Fournette? 0%, no interest. Mike says, is Denzel Ward playing? Inactives should be out in like an hour, so I don't know. My answer is, I do not know. You like Hayden Hurst? Not really. I mean, yes, I have 1% though. Like the way I'm building lineups today, I'm not getting much of Atlanta, like at all. Like Hayden Hurst, my 2 lineups of Hayden Hurst is my highest owned Falcon today. Thoughts on Djax? Djax looks okay. So this is going to be really interesting. If you play a lot of lineups, 20 max, you use an optimizer, you really have to be careful about if you allow your running backs into your groups with your quarterbacks. You do. Because I let Miles Sanders in the group with the Eagles, and I ended up getting like 25% Eagles stacks, 25% Wentz. That means I took him out, and I ended up only getting 3%. There's no way in hell that should be that big of a difference. There's no way that I want 22% of my lineups to be paired together with Miles Sanders and Carson Wentz is what that's saying. So you have to be really careful, because it could be the difference between you being very much over the field and overweight for every single week on not good and not strong correlated stacks, which is just dead money in my opinion. So if you're right now using optimizers and you have like a lot of running backs in your stacks, I would be really careful, because it's probably going to inflate a lot of the ownership on specific teams. Like last week, I had Jonathan Taylor in my stacks with Phillip Rivers, and I was getting like 30% Phillip Rivers, like he was my highest owned. I was like, this doesn't make any sense. So I took Jonathan Taylor out. I took Nyheim Hines out of the stack, which there's not as good correlation anyways with the running backs. And it ended up going down to like 7%, something crazy. Kenny G, health scary this week? No, I have a lot. I feel good right now. Jonnu Smith or Noah Fant? I currently have 0% of both of them. If you told me to pick one, I'd go Noah Fant. I currently have 0% of both of them. What do we got? Robbie Anderson, Deontay Johnson, or CeeDee Lamb? I'll go CeeDee Lamb, but him and Deontay Johnson are kind of a toss-up right now, but I'll go CeeDee Lamb. Amari or Metcalf? I'll go Amari Cooper. Miles Sanders looks fantastic. Highest owned running back. Melvin Gordon or Mark Ingram? I'll go Melvin Gordon. Thoughts on Andy Isabella? I actually have some Andy Isabella today. I have 2 lineups of Andy Isabella, so I actually think he's a pretty decent, cheap sleeper, but not to like put in your cash lineup, not to put in your $100 single entry, in my opinion, but he looks okay. Who would you rather prioritize, Zeke or Hopkins? I would rather prioritize Hopkins today. Hilton or Deontay GPP? I'll go Deontay. Are you going to make a video for the showdown tonight? No, I don't do videos for Sunday night showdowns. The last 2 weeks I've done bonus content on Patreon, the projections. Not sure if I'll do those today, but I don't do videos for Sunday night showdown. They don't get a lot of viewership. I mean, everybody's watching the games, and then people realize Sunday night showdown's on, or Sunday night's on at like 7, and then that's when everybody watches the viewership, so I get like 1 hour viewership. I did it last year. It's, in my opinion, it's a waste of time. It's not even like there's a niche there. Like I might get like 2,000 views on it, and it's just a waste of my time for like the 3 hours of effort it would take in to put in and do that on a Saturday or Sunday for me. No interest. I also have buddies here this weekend. They got here yesterday. They're going to be here, so I ain't going to even be home all day. What do we got? Any Sample or Thomas at tight end? I have Logan Thomas in 7% of my lineups. No Drew Sample, though. I'm getting a lot of Dan Arnold, which is a concern because all the other options, for the most part, for Arizona suck outside of Hopkins. With no Kirk there today for stacking, I'm not putting Kenyon Drake into the stacks. So my only other options are Larry Fitzgerald and Isabella. I'm getting some of both of them, and then I'm getting more Dan Arnold than I really want. He's 2,800. He projects out for like 6 fantasy points for me, so I'm going to get too much. So if Dan Arnold scores a touchdown today, just know that you can tweet me that I will be jumping up and down in a bar somewhere with nacho cheese on my face. I'll be real happy because I'm getting way too much. But I've done other crunches that get lower on him, and it just makes a lot of other stuff look bad. So we're going to be cheering for Dan Arnold today. And it's not do or die. If he scores 0 points, it's only like 12% of my lineups. Is it fine if I play Drake and Hopkins with Murray in cash? I don't want all that in cash, no. I personally don't want 3 players from the same team in cash because, yes, that game's supposed to be high scoring and all that, but if you do that more times than not, if you continue to play 3 players, and I know you're not trying to stack it, they just look like good options in cash. If you do that more times than not, it is really going to bite you bad some weeks when that offense stinks or Murray gets hurt because he's a mobile quarterback and the entire offense goes off the rails and you lose 100% of your cash games that week. That is not going to be fun. Galladay ownership as of now, I have a lot of Galladay. I don't know, like 30+%, somewhere in that area. 30%, 30 plus. Appreciate you, Sal. Hit that like button, folks. Yeah. Please do. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. How y'all doing? Big energy. Went on a little 4-mile run before this. Felt real good. Last night, went out with some friends, the girlfriend, some other friends. Had a good time. Big fun right now. This is this is our holy time of the week. A couple hours before lock. And we got 5 afternoon games today. Oof. I'm a Packers fan, right? Packers play at night today. Oof. It's going to be some fun. Chris Godwin or MV Best, full point PPR. I mean, Chris Godwin, that's not even a question. How's your morning, Sal? How you feeling today? I'm feeling good, man. Yeah. I was feeling a little bit, I'm probably going to get a Pedialyte or something just so I get major energy. Definitely not hungover, but I was just feeling a little bit tired this morning, but went on a huge run, and now I'm feeling very nice. Very nice. Nikhil will perform, question mark? Hope so. It's fine if I don't know. How do you feel about Derrick Henry? I'm going to be below the field on Derrick Henry. I normally come in below the field on Derrick Henry. I like coming in below the field last week on him. It's just, I have 7%. I assume I'm going to be below the field on Derrick Henry. I'm usually always below the field on him, and I feel okay with that. Sal, appreciate all the info you give, boss. Thanks. You too. Somebody says, Sal Vetri, what the fuck is up, man? Let's get this cheddar. Yeah, best of luck to you. What's up? Mixon or Connor? I got more Mixon. Expect Julio to play. Even if Julio plays, I don't want him. Julio is there. So pretty much multiple doctors have said that Julio Jones, if he plays, will be very limited and we'll see a lower volume today. In their expert opinions. We'll see if that's true. Wide receiver page? Sure. Season-long Woods or Gallup? Galladay or Gallup? I will go with Galladay there, if you believe in his health. Sal, love your grind. Just joined the stream and could have missed it, but thoughts on Devin Singletary with Moss ruled out? Thanks, I appreciate it, Brian. Yeah, I like Singletary. I'm getting in the teens in ownership of him. I like him. Favorite stack for the week? Dallas. It's the obvious one, but there's no reason to go away from it, in my opinion. Boy, got too much energy, says Lord. There's no way. There's no way you could have too much energy. If you don't have any energy, you're boring. You're lazy. You're lame. That ain't fun. Mixon over McKinnon? Easily. I have 0% McKinnon, so probably. A lot of people like McKinnon this week. He's not even the starter on his team. A lot of people want to own the backup running back on his team this week. I think he's the better running back, but I don't think that's how they're going to play him. And by a lot of people going to own him. I mean, he's still probably, I assume he's going to come in lower owned than Jeff Wilson. I don't know if that'll be true. But he should. He should come in lower owned than Jeff Wilson. I think the public will own more Jerick McKinnon just because it was the early week thing. But yeah, I think Jeff Wilson will be the goal line, red zone back, and I think he'll be the guy who sees more touches. Hey, my fellow Italiano brother. What do you think of Burkhead? Thanks, man. What's going on? How you doing? Pasta Sunday. I wish I was home right now. I'd be having some major Pasta Sunday. Rex Burkhead, I have 2 lineups out of 150 with Burkhead. Singletary in a cash DK. Okay, so Singletary and cash is what this guy asks. It's okay. I'm not too fond of it. Drew Sample, no interest. Allen Robinson or CeeDee Lamb? I'll go Allen Robinson. This is my church, somebody says. I look forward to these live streams. Let's go, boys. Hey, yeah, welcome. Welcome into the Holy Land. McKinnon or Gurley for a GPP? Both seem awful. I have 1% Gurley and no McKinnon, so I'll go there. Most underrated GPP stack? I think probably the Chargers, in my opinion. Either the Chargers or the Lions, but the Lions really aren't that underrated. I'd probably go the Chargers most underrated. That could also blow up in your face because it's a rookie in his second start now that a team has some sort of film on him, right? But I'll go the Chargers. Sal, I don't think you are in live chat. I'm in the live chat. I don't know what this kid's talking about. Joshua Kelly, a good play in cash? No. Are you okay paying down this week? Wide receiver 2, Hamler? If you want to. I don't have any issues with playing Hamler in cash. I don't really want to be doing it, though. I don't want to be relying on Jeff Driscoll to get him there. I think Hamler is going to be good, but Hamler, he's not worth, like, he should be way more than $3,000. He should be like a $4,000 receiver. That $1,000 will go a long way as well. When you're going down to the minimum price, it lets you get a lot higher up at other spots. And in cash, you should be wanting to go like more stars and scrubs more times than not. And that doesn't mean bad players. It means consistent scrubs, like Deontay Johnson being a quote-unquote scrub based on the price point of CeeDee Lamb at their $4,500 tags last week. Paris Campbell has $3,900 tag week 1. I personally do not want to be, as somebody who pays one cash lineup across a ton of entries, I do not want to be that much leverage on KJ Hamler with Jeff Driscoll as his quarterback, in my opinion, in a low total game. Any Mo Alley Cox if Doyle sits? Apparently Doyle is good to go. He's been practicing, so no. Any interest in Corey Davis this week? Yeah, a lot of people like Corey Davis. I understand it. I'm going to be fading it, it appears. I have a 0% Corey Davis, it appears. Yeah. 0% Corey Davis for me, which is interesting. But he projects out decently, but not great enough. Ertz or Ingram, good. I like Ertz the most. He might be my favorite tight end play this week. Is Amari fine for cash? Yes. Who are your must pairs with Herbert in the Chargers stacks? I can go to my Chargers groups right now and tell you the exact players that I have in my Chargers groups. Hunter Henry, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, DJ Moore, Curtis Samuel, and Robbie Anderson are in my Chargers groups. And let me actually just make sure that I have this right, this Chargers group. Yeah, it's all good. I want to actually run one more thing here. I'm going to change something with Herbert. I'm curious about this. Let's see. So I'm changing something in Fantasy Cruncher. I want to see what happens if I'm changing one little aspect to this crunch. I've been meaning to do this because I think it's going to change, maybe not a lot, but I think it's going to change some things. And I'm curious. Let me put on some randomness. I'm going to answer these questions. 1 second. Hold ya horses. Let's see what happens to all these crunches if I do this. I'm going to crunch 150, 300. We'll crunch. We'll see what happens. All right, let's let that roll. Thielen over Hopkins in a GPP? Not for me. I mean, Thielen's going to be low-owned. I like Thielen. But I'm going to choose Hopkins there if you're playing one lineup. Thoughts on N'Keal Harry? Like him a lot. Will Galladay be limited? No idea. He says he's not 100%, but no idea what the team's going to do. Jackson or Gallup in a PPR? I'll go Gallup. Best cheap tight end? Question mark. Best cheap tight end? Probably Chris Herndon. Dan Arnold, Chris Herndon, Logan Thomas, those names. Deontay Johnson or Edelman? Edelman. Brady or Goff? Goff. Drew Sample viable? I'm not going to play him. Thoughts on Dan Arnold? I'm getting too much. I don't recommend it. He's 2,800. He'll get more looks now that Christian Kirk's out. I don't know how much that actually matters. He's not that heavily involved, in my opinion. Jordan Reed or Ertz? Ertz, not even close. Cooper or Godwin? Amari Cooper. Gordon, Deontay, Keenan Allen, pick 2 for my season long. Keenan Allen and Deontay. All right, let's see what happens. I just re-crunched this stuff. I like this a little bit more. We got a little bit less Herbert, which is fine because I changed some stuff with the Chargers stacks. I got 8% Herbert now instead of like 12, and I got more Dak and Cowboy stacks. So this is going to be my final crunch. I like this a lot. Not a lot. I mean, it's not that major of a difference. Everything else looks pretty much the same. Yeah, all my other exposures at other positions basically look identical as far as I can see. We just got a little bit more Dak and a little bit less Herbert, and that feels we got less Dan Arnold too. I had 18% Dan Arnold, now I only have 10. That's what we did. So one little thing we changed on Justin Herbert fixes a whole bunch of shit. Are you pairing Zeke with Dak? Question mark. No, I'm not. Zeke's not in my groups with Dak. Gibson or Swift? Gibson. Humphreys? Question mark. No, I don't think I have anything from Tennessee this week outside of like a little bit of Derrick Henry. I lied. I've now, based on my last crunch just seconds ago, I now have one lineup with Corey Davis and one lineup with Humphrey. Not sure if they're in that lineup together because I have no Tannehill, so I doubt it. Ertz over Waller, Mike asks. Yeah. Ertz over Waller for me this week. I have Waller projected for more points, but value-wise, I like Ertz. Any love for 3K Damiere Byrd? No. I mean, like if you're talking about cash, no. GPPs, I do have Damiere Byrd though. I have Damiere Byrd in one lineup. Eckler for cash, DraftKings, not for me. Thoughts on Terry McLaurin in tournaments? I got like 3%, so I think he's okay, but I'm going to be below the field. Pick one, Edelman, Julio Jones, or Robert Woods. I'll go Edelman. Deshaun Jackson or Antonio Gibson. I'll go Deshaun Jackson in that flex spot. Did the Chargers question change your Sunday sweat projections? What does Sunday sweat projections mean? What are you talking about, Duncan? Did my Chargers question change your Sunday sweat projections? I don't know what that means. But if you were the one who asks who I'm pairing with Chargers, I clicked on my Chargers groups and I saw something that I didn't really want to see. So I changed one player out of those groups and I got less Herbert, which makes sense. And it made me get less Dan Arnold for some reason and more Dak, which is what we want. We want more Dak today. We want more Cowboys, right? I don't care if they go out there and score 0 points. I just want to root for the Cowboys today. That's all I want to do. I got a friend here who's a Cowboys fan. They're the best stack on the slate. It's not even close in my opinion. Okay, maybe it's a little bit closer, like Arizona and Seattle. Other than that, it's not even close. So yeah. And I mean, that's just me wrapping a narrative around it. I'm just complete bias out of it. Projections in. Yeah, I have the most by far ownership towards the Dallas Cowboys today. And I love it. Gallup or David Johnson? I got David Johnson and Gallup looking real similar today. I have more Gallup, but yeah, they look real similar. Sarah donates $2 to the stream. I appreciate that. Thank you. Allen Robinson, cash viable? I think he's cash viable. It's probably other better options. 920 people are watching this live stream right now? No way. 936 now. Y'all are crazy. My running back situation got fucked up because of Christian McCaffrey. I just traded for Christian McCaffrey. I hope it works out. Running back 2 slot is between Rex Burkhead and Antonio Gibson this week. Who do you like more? Antonio Gibson. Somebody says Dallas sucks. LOL. If you think Dallas sucks for fantasy, whew, you're going to have a rough day today. Do you have a lot of any running backs in the R? I don't know what the R means. Cowboy fan here. Nice. Best DK value quarterback. Probably, the best DK value quarterback to me if you're playing in, I could pull up my projections. Let's pull up the projections. Also, projections are linked down below. And go support Jock Market. They're linked down below in the app. They're the logo up above. Fantasy Sports meets the stock exchange, right? If anybody out there likes stocks or you like day trading, or if you want to learn more about it, because you should, because retirement is a good idea. Yeah, and you don't only have to do investing in stocks, real estate, a bunch of other stuff you can do as well, businesses, right? But pretty good idea. No better way to get involved with that than through Daily Fantasy Sports, where they have free contests. They have cash games as well, but free contests as well. A lot of questions coming in. I got this. Somebody keeps asking me about the slow chat. I got this shit on like 20 seconds, so I don't know how much slower it can go. There's just 1,000 people in here. Best fantasy football channel on the YouTubers. Nice. This sheet is different from the Patreon one. Yeah, the maybes and yeses I might have changed like a couple of guys. Because I updated it this morning. Nothing's going to be different, though. All the cash rankings and the cash ranks and GPPs are what you want to be looking at, not the interests. But I'll update it before lock. I probably change it just for Galladay news and pretty much change it for my most recent exposure, which was like right before Crunch started. So the yeses and maybes just kind of show where my exposures are. You really want to just be focusing on the cash rankings and GPPs. The yeses and maybes is just something for me to keep track mentally. That doesn't really mean much in the whole scheme of things, but I have the updated version right here that I'm looking at. I'll just repost it once this is over. Thoughts on David Montgomery? No interest. Do you have stock market class as well? If it's your DFS NFL chat? No. Stocks. If you are buying stocks from somebody or actually believing that they can pick individual stocks, you might as well just burn all your money. Trying to bet on individual stocks is a sucker's game, in my opinion. It's like trying to buy picks off of people who sell NFL picks for sports betting. Terrible idea. You're assuming that somebody is beating a whole market of millions and millions of people. That is nowhere near efficient, yes, but they don't even have all the information that nobody has. They're in the same exact playing field. It's not like DFS, where DFS you're playing other people, right? You can actually work on human emotions head to head in tournaments. You can leverage game theory. There's no leveraging game theory when there's huge companies that you're doing, right? Not the ownership of players. I have a financial advisor and he handles my portfolio, and then I'm currently getting, hopefully within the next 6 months to a year, into real estate and starting to buy some homes and having rental properties. I got Dallas running back though. Yeah, I have a lot of Zeke. So like for people that think just because I have Dak and Zeke's not in that group, I have over 20% Zeke. Like got a lot of Dak, got a lot of Zeke. The line if I don't have Dak, there's a good chance I got one of those with Zeke. What it is, Sal, what it is. Read exposure like 3%. If you're not playing Herbert on Superdraft, what other quarterback would you play? Well, right now on Superdraft, the answer for me is Herbert, but Phillip Rivers looks good. Cam Newton looks good. Those types of guys. Jeff Driscoll looks decent because of the multiplier that he's going to get. Landry or Gage? I will go Landry. Jared Cook or Jonnu Smith? I will go Jared Cook. Julio Jones likely out. Thoughts on Gage/Ridley? I'm not going to have any of really Atlanta today. They both seem okay. Just projection-wise, I'm not going to have them. Jonathan Taylor or Miles Sanders? Miles Sanders, but I like both. Should I trade Golden Tate for Gaskin? It's up to you. It's up to your depth. I'm not convinced that I want a Miami running back, even though I get it. He had 27 touches. I'm still not convinced that I want a Miami running back. He wasn't all that efficient on them. The fact that he got involved in the passing game is very good to see, but he's been involved in the passing game all year. So, yeah, I prefer to have running backs. If you have the depth, I have wide receiver to do that trade, I would probably do it. But I think Golden Tate has a pretty nice day today. How do you learn the numbers in DFS? Read a lot of books. Watch a lot of online courses. I don't know. Like it's statistics for the it's algebra for projections. So like that's real simple. And then it's statistics for game theory type of stuff. Just reading a lot of books. Right now I'm probably on a pace to finish 2 books a week. So hopefully I can get it to 3, but audiobooks really help. Reading a lot of books, you'll learn about anything. Just read books. There's books on everything. What do Superdraft and Jock Market mean? S-Draft is Superdraft. Jock Market is Jock Market. Jock Market is a stock exchange for daily fantasy sports. Yes, that's right. It's on the Apple Store, link down below. You can buy and sell stocks of players. Yes, live the whole entire day. For the main slate, it's Sunday into Monday. They have a free contest. I believe it's been $1,200 first. Not sure if it still is, either $1,200 or $500. But then they have a cash market, and the cash markets would set them apart. So check it out down below. I'm in there right now I'm sure I'm going to get outbid at some point, and then we're going to have to start getting into a little bit of a bidding war. But I'm sure I'm going to be outbid in some spots. I got 5 guys right now that I have ownership towards. And somebody, I think, outbid me on one of them. Yeah, so I got one of them outbid on, so I'm going to have to bid that up soon. Daryl Henderson or Malcolm Brown. I'll go Henderson there, but I don't really want either all that much today. Love the stream, bro. They really helped me out. Thanks. I appreciate it. Bruce Lewis. Marvin Jones or Russell Gage. I'll go Marvin Jones there. What do we got? We got Evan Ingram or Sanders? Evan Ingram. Keenan Allen or Robinson? Ooh, that's close. Keenan Allen Robinson is close. I'll go Allen Robinson still. What's your favorite book to recommend? Just in general? I don't really have like a most recommended book. There's a lot of books that I think are good. Like if you're trying to break out of your 9-to-5 job, I think the 4-Hour Workweek is really good. And just change your mindset, but it depends on the subject. I mean, if you're asking me about statistics and algebra, I've literally read algebra books and took free online Coursera statistics courses. I took statistics courses in algebra all throughout college and high school, so it's literally just like the fat textbooks that are going to be boring as hell to you. I don't know the names of them. And then there's free or you could pay for Coursera courses as well. Most people aren't going to sit there and watch that though. We all in on Jeff Wilson Jr.? Yeah, Jeff Wilson I have a good amount of. I don't want a good amount of it. I don't recommend having a good amount of him, but he's $4,000, and I'm getting a good amount of him. So, yeah, I'm not all in on him, but I have a good amount. Hunt, Tyler Boyd, and McKinnon. PPR, pick one. Tyler Boyd. Is A.J. Brown playing? No, he's out. Edelman, Deontay Johnson, or Singletary? That's a good question. I'll go Edelman, but they're all pretty good options to have. You're in a good spot there. Bench Kenny G for more Keenan Allen and Edelman? Yeah, if you don't want to be taking the risk, I like Kenny G more than Keenan Allen in that situation, but if you don't want to take the risk and don't think he's 100%, sure. Any Logan Thomas? Yeah, I have 7%. Best defense under 3K? I don't even know what the defense's prices are this week. I've not even looked at the defense's price page, so I don't even know what my ownership is towards defense. This is the first time I'm going to check my ownership towards defense. It's literally right now. And I have ownership towards like 12 defenses, and I'm getting a lot of the cheap ones, so makes sense. That's fine. I don't know the best defense under 3K. Sal, do you like the Cowboys tight end, Dalton Schultz? I'm not getting any of him, but I have 3 lineups with Dalton Schultz. I actually like him. The wide receivers are just underpriced. Like when the Cowboys' 2 wide receivers are underpriced and close in price to Dalton Schultz, I'm going to be going to those 2 wide receivers way more. I'm talking DFS books. I mean, there's some DFS books. Jonathan Bales has a lot of books to get you a basic understanding. Those are good. I've read those. But it's experience, right? Like you can read those books and then you can just look up a lot of videos online. I have videos online for strategy stuff. You could read a lot of articles and stuff like that for strategy, but it all comes down to experience. Like you can read as many articles as you want about 150 maxing and leveraging ownership. It's not going to matter until you actually use the optimizer and you 150 max and you learn groups and rules and statistics and how to leverage all ownership and leverage projections and leverage the fact that other people are using basic optimizer settings, and that's not going to be good for people. So Jonathan Bales has books. They're good. Some of them might be outdated. I would reach out to him or on Twitter or something and just ask him which ones he recommends the most. That's what I did like 4 years ago. But I have no idea how helpful. They're not going to make you a person who wins hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's going to be the practical part. What does your Patreon include? Yeah, I could put a link into the pages of what it includes, but it's a bunch of stuff. Projections, rankings, showdown information, closing thoughts podcast. That's 45 minutes to an hour each week where I pretty much go over every single thing that I'm doing on the slate. What else is going to be in there? Targets and touches, recap sheets. It's a bunch of stuff. 20 plus pages. This week it's 25 pages of game-by-game notes. Every single player for the Sunday main slate that is going to be viable for fantasy. We'll have a breakdown of either their matchups, some statistics to know, all that type of stuff. So it's a lot. It is a lot. I will put the link down below to check out. There's different packages. So like different packages, you'll get more or less depending on what you sign up for. Like a Discord or the showdown projections and rankings are on the tier up, but I just put it in there. If Devontae Adams is out, which it seems like it, doubtful, N'Keal Harry, Valdez Scantling, or Pittman, I'll go N'Keal Harry. Reed or Font, I will go with, right now I have more ownership to Reed, so I will go with, I don't really like either. Like they both have backup quarterbacks. It's not looking good. I think Font's the better tight end as of right now. I have more Reed though. How do you feel about Fournette today? 0%. Sal, what's up? What's up? I'm back. What's going on? How's it going? Hunt, McKinnon, or Boyd? Pick one. Boyd. Fernando donates $2 for the stream. He says Deshaun Jackson versus McKinnon. I'll go Deshaun Jackson. Not really big on McKinnon today. I understand why people are. I'm just not getting there. Russell Gage or MVS? Russell Gage. I need an RB2. Best of luck. Is Harry fine for cash? I'm not too sure I like carrying cash. Not as much there. Sal, how do I not play Taylor and Sanders today? Go ahead and play them. They both seem cash game viable. I'm playing a lot of both of them in GBBs. Thanks for the donation. My man Cody in the chat. What's up, Cody? He says, Sal's Patreon is fire. Would you trade Zeke for Mixon and Lockett? I would want... Yeah, it depends on your depth. Mixon and Lockett's a pretty fair trade for Zeke, in my opinion. But I think I am not trading Zeke in any of my leagues. I would have to get a much better deal than that. But Mixon, in my opinion, is still going to finish like top 10, top 12 back. There's just a good chance that Zeke is now number 1 overall. It depends on your depth. If you don't have depth at wide receiver, I'd take the trade. If you do, then don't. Jeff Wilson or Antonio Gibson. I have more ownership to Wilson, but if you're playing in like a PPR league for more points, right, where price point doesn't matter like DFS, I'd go Antonio Gibson. For DFS, I have more Jeff Wilson. What do you think about Gurley? I have 1%, don't like him. Had Saquon for fantasy. Only running backs were Gus Edwards and Giovanni Bernard. Who do you want? Ugh, both are gross. I will go Giovanni Bernard because he's at least running some routes, and Gus Edwards is an RB3. Would you trade? All right, I already answered that. Stafford cash game viable, or are you paying up on DK? Yeah, I think he's cash game viable because I have him as a decent projected quarterback. So, yeah, he's cash game viable. I'm probably going elsewhere. Gage or Deshaun or John Brown? Deshaun. Why Ertz over Hurst? Projects out for way more points for me. And he's so damn cheap on DFS. I have Ertz for 4 more fantasy points than Hurst, so that's the reason. Do you like Pittman in cash? No, but I like Pittman in general. DFS more so. People, I'm telling you, Sal's Patreon is 100% worth it, says Jacob Sanders. I appreciate that. Yeah, we got over 420 Patrons right now. Yeah, it's a good time. So check it out. It's linked down below. All that stuff. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Did we ever hit 1,000 subscribers? I know so usually I used to go live, or 1,000 people watching this. Usually I used to go live at like 11 to noon, and we would usually like consistently last year like hit 12 or 13. I'm going live at 10 now, just so I have more time, and sometimes I like to go a little bit more, go to like noon. So I realized that we're competing with all the head honchos, but we're a head honcho now. We might be the kingpins of this game pretty soon. Is Herbert a good start? Yeah, I think so. How about Drew Sample? I'm not owning anywhere right now, but I think it's a little bit too soon on Drew Sample. Like, he saw 9 targets on 61 attempts, so 15% target share. So when Burrow throws 35 times today, he's going to see 4 targets. Obviously, it's not how it's always going to be, but I'm just trying to say, like, his numbers were inflated. I think it's important to call out, though, that Uzomah is out and he ran a ton of routes, but I'm not getting there right now. How do you pick a DFS GPP? A defense in a GPP? I don't pick them. Whatever the optimizer gives me is what I do. That's all I do. I literally have zero analysis into DFS defenses. You want analysis? I can give you that. It's not going to matter. Pressure rates, right? Target bad quarterbacks, target non-mobile quarterbacks, target ones that are declining in athleticism and talent. Pressure rates are the big one. That's not going to matter. It's usually going to be priced in. Pick one. CeeDee Lamb, DJ Moore, or OBJ? DJ Moore. Might be OBJ. It is DJ Moore and OBJ are very similar. I'll go OBJ. Galladay or Montgomery? Galladay. Can we cycle graphics to the RBs? You mind scrolling down the wide receiver page? Yeah, in a second. Is stacking Pittman and Taylor bad? Yeah, I think so. I mean, like, I don't know. If you're playing cash, I don't really want to play Pittman, but I think it's okay. So it's not bad if you have 2 of them in your lineup. But if you're stacking them with Philip Rivers, yeah, I don't really want that. What do you think of Adam Humphries? Not really there. I got one lineup with him. McLaurin or Higbee? McLaurin. Hey, I just got here. Was curious why you were high on Lockett and Metcalf and not Russell. Good question. Because I am stacking them with Russell in 5% of lineups, and then I am running them back a lot in Dallas lineups, which I have a lot of ownership to, and then they're just making their way into just other random lineups as one-offs. It's a lot easier to get ownership to wide receivers than their quarterbacks. That's obvious, right? There's 4 positions where a wide receiver can slide into your lineup. There's only 1 for a quarterback. So, yeah. I'm not down on Russell Wilson. I think he's going to have a good game. I just think that I would rather have more ownership to Kyler Murray and Dak in this situation. Can we see the running backs page? It's on the screen. Sal, Gage or Diggs? Diggs. No Gage on your list? No, I don't have any interest this week as of right now. Rojo or Ingram in flex? Oh, that's a gross team to be playing. I will have Ingram. Hunter Henry and Amari or Edelman and Waller? Hunter Henry and Amari. Adam Thielen or Deontay Johnson, Joe Mixon or Joshua Kelly? Well, Mixon easily over Kelly for me. Adam Thielen over Deontay Johnson. Any projections or thoughts on Aaron Jones today for the late game? I'm probably not going to do late game projections or rankings today, no. The last 2 weeks I have because I've had time. I don't know if I will be home today. How you feeling about good old Joshua Kelly for the Chargers? I think he looks like a stud. I think he looks really good. Maybe not a stud. I think he looks really good in terms of the usage you're getting from him. I don't have any today, though, because he's already priced up. Like, I don't know how I can confidently want to play a good amount or any Joshua Kelly when there's 3 or 4 running backs that are going to see more touches or similar touches to him today that are cheaper. And then there's some running backs that are not that, like, Miles Sanders is $1,300 more than Joshua Kelly. That should never, ever be the case. Anthony donates $2. He says, Brandon Cooks or MVS? I have Devontae Adams on the bench. Yeah, that's tough. I'll go Brandon Cooks there. What's your thoughts on Dalvin Cook? I'm not getting a lot, but I think he's a decent GPP play. Does Pats losing the center impact Cam much? A little bit. Not a ton, in my opinion. Jordan Reed or Jonnu Smith? I'll go with... I have more ownership to Jordan Reed in DFS. If you're playing season long, Jonnu Smith. Murray all day. Do you think Devin Singletary is cash game viable? I think he's cash game viable. I'm not sure I want to get there. Aaron Rodgers, the best play in the slate. Cody asks, Aaron Rodgers, yeah, it's really tough to get away from Aaron Rodgers. I have 100%. Am I crazy to sit and bench Julio for AJ Green and season long? No, you're not. I don't think Julio will be that effective if he even plays. Big Ben for DK Cash, not for me. Is Amari and Metcalf okay for cash? Sure. Woods or Deontay Johnson? I'll go Deontay Johnson. Cardinals or football team defense? No idea. Any questions about defense will be answered by no idea. I have no preference on defenses. I put 0 time into them. I just randomize it. Taylor, Hamler, or McKinnon? Taylor, Hamler, or McKinnon for my single entry cash? Wait, what? Jonathan Taylor's answer, if that's what you're asking me. Murray or Newton? I have more Murray, but they're 2 of my top 3 owned quarterbacks right now. Boyd or Marquise Brown? Boyd. Gibson over Henderson for me. Melvin Gordon or Will Fuller in the flex? Will Fuller seems to be okay, like healthy. Tough matchup again, though, but I have more Melvin Gordon right now. Wilson or Murray? Murray for me. I have more. Dalvin Cook's going to go off today, bud. Okay, I'm not your bud, but sounds good. What's your thoughts on Derrick Henry? I'm always seem to be below the field on him, so I'm below the field again. I have 7%. Eckler or Joshua Kelly? Eckler by a good amount for me. Do you like Chris Hogan for value? I actually was curious about seeing if I got any of these Jets. Let me see if I got any of these Jets outside of Herndon, because I got no Sam Darnold, but I got Herndon in a good amount of my lineups. Let's see if I got any of these dusty old Jets receivers. I got like 1% Josh Malone, but none of the other ones, so no. When you go QB with wide receiver, do you need to bring it back? In every single one of my 150 lineups today, I have a QB stack with 2 pass catchers and bringing it back, so I'm game stacking in every single one of them. You're asking me about cash specifically? No. You don't even need to stack in cash, in my opinion. I know some people like it. I don't stack in cash. You do not need to stack in cash. You do not need to stack in cash because the correlation and the upside is for GPP, so you can pass 99.9% of the people to try and win all the dollar rooskies. When you only have to beat 50% of the people, you don't need to take the risks that correlation will present, which the risks are the quarterback sucks / gets injured, and that automatically means that now 2 people in your lineup for cash, if you're stacking or game stacking even more, automatically now suck and your lineup's dead. Sal, is it okay to play Dak and Zeke together in a GPP? I currently am not. Is it okay? Yeah, it's worked out. People have won the Millie Makers with that before, but I currently am not playing both of them. It just gives me too many lineups that I don't think are as strongly correlated, and he has 4 pretty clear pass catching options. Dak does. I'd rather go there. Morgan Freegan says, I'm not your friend, guy. I'm not your buddy. Yeah, I mean, Bud might be the most, unless you're like a 40-plus-year-old man, Bud might be like the most degrading thing that you can call another man. Hey, Sal, can we see the tight end page? Yeah, sure. Tyler Boyd, no doubt. Slayton or Schultz? Slayton. Miles Sanders or Kenyon Drake or Carson? Miles Sanders. Deontay Johnson or Drake? Drake. Thoughts on Cam this week? He's my 3rd highest owned quarterback. I like him a good amount. Who'd you pair Mitch with? I don't have any Mitch, so I'm not pairing him with anybody. Who would I pair him with? I would pair him with Allen Robinson, and the rest of that team sucks. Darnell Mooney, Anthony Miller as wide receiver 2 options. I don't know if they get the volume. I would pair him with Allen Robinson, but I'm not getting any Mitch because there's not really options to pair him with. What's the most you won in a contest? $16,000 Rooskies. Keenan Allen or Lamb? I'll go Keenan Allen. You like James Conner? I've got like 4% James Conner. Gallup or Cooper? I prefer Cooper there. Drake or Mixon? I prefer Drake, but I like both. I have a good amount of both this week, 15+% on both. Man, these people coming in the chat and just trying to promote their YouTube channel, that's like the worst way to ever grow your YouTube channel because nobody gives a shit about what you're saying, for one. And then 2, the person that you're commenting on, they will never help you because you're just a spammer. Claypool or Van Jefferson in a GPP? I'll go Claypool. Eagle stack is going to make people rich today. Yeah, I got 7% Eagle stacks. I think I'm going to be above the field there, maybe. Hey, Sal, great to see you. Kamara or Zeke? I'll go Zeke. Nice to see you as well. Kamara and Zeke is very close, though. I have them both projected very close. Herbert, question mark? Yeah, I like Herbert. I have a good amount. He's my 4th highest on QB as of right now. Jonnu with injured Vikings D. Yeah, Jonnu I'm not that high on. I have no Jonnu this week. I like Jonnu from a season-long standpoint. I think you should trade him right now. He's the highest value he'll ever be at this point. 3 touchdowns in 2 weeks. But he's probably going to see like 5 targets a week, maybe, right? And they're not all going to be touchdowns like they were last week. Over 1,000 views, says Juju Bay. Nice. We got over 1,000 people watching live. 1,050. Welcome everybody into this. Please do if you're here right now. We're very close to 30,000 subscribers. If you appreciate anything I say, if I answer a question, you say, yeah, no, thank you. 2 seconds of your time, totally free. Just hit the subscribe button, right? Hit the like button as well. I really do appreciate that all in advance. We got videos coming out every single day, 2 videos a day during the week over here on this channel. Videos coming out every single day on the channel for football. Check it all out. My Patreon's linked down below, as well as football, golf, and NBA right now. NBA and golf projections and rankings every week. We here for Sal only, says Don. Nice. Do you need Harry or Humphreys today? Are they cash viable? I think Harry's more cash viable, but they're definitely not needs. No. McKinnon or Fournette? Don't really want either, but I'll go McKinnon. You play Adams if he's playing. He's doubtful, but if he plays, yeah, I'd play him. Adams has been ruled doubtful one other time in his career. He came out and played. He scored 2 touchdowns. So, I mean, they're not going to really risk him. I don't think he's going to play. Dak or Cam in cash? I would prefer in cash between the two of them. Let me see. I have Cam as the number 1 value play on DraftKings today for quarterback, so I prefer Cam in cash. Adam Thielen bounce back week? I think so. Thanks for your knowledge every week, brother. Really appreciate all the content. Yeah, no problem, Ross. I appreciate you all tuning in. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Appreciate it. And ladies. What's your total salary range in a GPP? What does that mean, total salary range? I have no limits. I could spend all of it if I want to. Hey, let's make them dollar rooskies. Yeah. Singletary or Joshua Kelly? Singletary. T.Y. Hilton, Gallup, or Deontay Johnson? Gallup for me. But Deontay Johnson will give you more consistent results. I'll take Gallup's upside this week. Let's make these dollar rooskies. Let's do it. Wentz with Sanders? I don't have Wentz stacked with Sanders, no. I think it's going to give you too many lineup stuff like that, and the correlation's not going to pan out. Deontay Johnson or Drake in the flex? Drake. KJ Hamler, I have 4%. Just getting here. Am I starting Devontae Adams? Probably not. He's doubtful. Risky to play Galladay today? If he's active, I think he's fine to play. I'm going to roll him out there. Thank you, sir. No problem. Slayton or Odell? I'll go Odell. Cooper or Metcalf? I'll go Cooper. Reed or Thomas in tight end? Which Thomas? Ian Thomas? You should probably drop Ian Thomas at this point. I'll go Reed. Bird or Hamler? Hamler for me. Not really interested in either. Best option for 4K. I don't know what that means. Best option at running back for 4K? Probably Jeff Wilson Jr. If that's what you're asking. CeeDee Lamb or Robbie Anderson? CeeDee Lamb. Gallup, Fuller, or Kenny Galladay in my flex? The answer is Kenny Galladay, but if you don't think he's 100% healthy and you don't want to be taking that risk, then Gallup. Thank you for your time, sir. No problem, Travis. I appreciate that. Let me know if this is your first time that you're ever watching me. Do you ever like stacking a quarterback with a running back? I used to. I did it week 1. I'm edging away from it from the more and more data that I see and read about. This week, I have no quarterback stacked with running backs. It's giving you way too many lineups that have your quarterback and your running back, and you don't want that leverage, right? A running back might score 4 passing touchdowns in the year, right? They might catch 3 passes in the game, right? You don't really want that type of correlation. So, like Miles Sanders, there's some that have a lot higher of a correlation coefficient, which is okay to look at, but it's nowhere near the same as the stud wide receivers. Like in the instance of Miles Sanders, it's giving me 20+% more lineups and stacks of the Eagles. I can't do that. It's too much, right? There's no way that correlation coefficient is worth that much more ownership to that stack. Not at all. 1 Millie Maker lineup. Who do you stack? I take that out of the Millie Maker and I put it into a single entry or 3 max personally, but I would stack the Cowboys. Really getting shut down today? I don't know. I have none, but hopefully them. How do you think Allen Robinson is going to do today? I mean, he's ready to blow up. You should be trading for him in all your season-long leagues. He's the Mike Evans of last year after 2 or 3 weeks, leading the league in top 5 in like every single category that matters, like volume, like air yards market share, like overall team target share, like red zone usage. He's going to blow up. He's getting all the usage. It's my first time here. Thank you. First time listener. Thank you. I appreciate it. If you're all here right now and you enjoy this and you're having a good time and you're getting a question answered, or you just enjoy the vibe right now because football's in 2 hours. 2 hours away. That's fantastic. Please hit the like button and subscribe button. Really, really does go a long way, so I appreciate it. First time watching, who are you? My name's Sal Vetri. So here's the elevator pitch, which are just stupid things. If you have a teacher that says learn an elevator pitch for your job board or whatever it is, the career fair, those things are so stupid, in my opinion. You know what's happening? They take your resume, they throw it out, and they tell you to apply online. Brutal. But who am I? Sal Vetri. I cover fantasy sports. I've been doing it for 2 years, fantasy sports and sports betting, and a variety of different sports. Here on my YouTube channel, independent creator. Started to do it as a hobby. Realized that, hey, a lot of people like viewing this stuff. And then used some of my knowledge from the books that I read, more so than my college education, because that's usually how it goes, and put a business structure around it. And now I'm able to do this full time. And welcome. And I appreciate that this is a way that we get to meet people. I like to interact. These are my favorite times of the week, these live streams, so it's a good time. First time listener, thanks. Will be dedicated listener, says David Sternberg. David Sternberg, appreciate you a ton. The dedication through one listen, I appreciate it. I don't know what I did for you. Maybe answer the question, but I appreciate your loyalty already. First time watching the live stream. Great job. Thank you, Jimmy. Hope you're having a good day. First time viewer here. Is it worth spending higher on a defense? Thanks, Damian. Usually no. Teddy Bridgewater, sleeper of the day, not for me. Teddy Bridgewater I do have as in play, but not for me. Montgomery or Hunt? I'll go Hunt. Feelings on Robbie Anderson. I don't think I have any Robbie Anderson today because I don't have much Teddy Bridgewater. As an individual play, let me see what I have him projected at for you today. All my projections and rankings linked down below. I'll throw it into the chat. This is my Patreon page linked down below. About 420 patrons. If you want to become a patron, you can check it out down below. That's the things that are offered in there. But right now, for me, Robbie Anderson, I projected for 10.8 points. Doesn't really, I'm not going to get any. No. Thoughts on Nick Mullins? No interest. Edelman or Evans? Right now, I'm getting a lot more Edelman. Hey, Sal from Australia. Welcome. What time is it over there? Sanders or Drake? Price similar in Australia. Definitely Sanders then for me. Sanders, so currently right now, Sanders is my fourth highest projected running back. He's only projected less than Eckler, Dalvin Cook, and Derrick Henry. But the difference is, or he's only projected less than Zeke, not Eckler. Zeke, Henry, and Cook. But the difference is he's way cheaper than all of them. And now you're telling me that in Australia's DFS that he's projected, or he has the same price as Kenyon Drake. I have Miles Sanders for 2 more points, though. So, yeah, Miles Sanders. Gallup, Johnson, or Lamb? Yeah, this is a good question. The Gallup versus Lamb debate is going to be one that people bang their heads against the wall. Maybe the answer is both of them. I think it is in some situations. But a lot of people they're going to bang their head against the wall because they're not going to know. They're both going to be similarly owned, like 12% each. They're both going to grade out for like 15 fantasy points. Yes, Lamb's getting more volume, has a better matchup, in my opinion, in the slot, but Gallup is getting a lot more targets downfield. They look the exact same, and that's why people are going to bang their heads up against the wall. If you put a gun to my head, I'd probably say CeeDee Lamb. I have no real strong stance. If you're playing one lineup, like a single entry, I'd probably say CeeDee Lamb. In my overall GPP ownership right now, I'm getting way more Gallup. He's my second highest owned wide receiver. So, yeah. One lineup, though, hand building, I think CeeDee Lamb gets in there first. I have a lot of CeeDee Lamb. These 3 Cowboys receivers are in my top 7 in wide receiver ownership today. You could change the correlation coefficient if you stack a running back that has 6 or 7 targets per game and opposed to all the running backs. Your thoughts? No, I don't think so. Well, look, the correlation coefficient, if they're consistently somebody who sees a 15 to 20% target share as a running back, yes, it's going to look better. But this is what matters the most. A wide receiver has 100 yards and a touchdown on 7 receptions. All of those are correlated with the quarterback. They're all getting direct points, 100% correlation, right? If it's the same quarterback throwing the ball for all those receptions, targets, all that stuff. A running back who catches 4 passes on 7 targets for 50 yards and no touchdown is giving his quarterback 2 points. That correlation is absolute dog shit. And if you want to tell me that you want to only play them because you think the running back is going to score multiple touchdowns in the air and not on the ground, well, that's not going to work out for you more times than not, is what I'm saying. Like, if I was to stack Miles Sanders and it gave me 1%, 2% more Carson Wentz, right? Okay, fine, I'll do it. If it's going to give me 20% more Carson Wentz and 20% more Eagle stacks, there's no way I'm betting on Miles Sanders having a receiving touchdown or 2 in 20% of my lineups. There's no way I'm taking that much leverage against it, because that's just, if I do that every single week, I'm going to lose all my money. Maybe it pays off one time for me, and hopefully that time I win the $1 million. But as somebody not playing the Millie Maker, it's not going to happen. So, yeah, I'm not doing it. First time watching, great job. Thanks, I appreciate it. Gallup and cash, ? Seems okay. Goddard or Johnny Smith? Oh, Goddard. Favorite cash salary saver this week, says Justin Harmon, close to my friend Justin Hartman's name, but close. Favorite cash salary saver? I don't know. I don't really think you need a salary saver. Like, I'm not really interested in playing Jeff Wilson. I think he's an okay cash consideration. KJ Hamler, like at those positions. Salary saver, probably tight ends, but they're all kind of cheap in the 4K range. There's a lot of 4 and 5K tight ends. Like, in my opinion, Zach Ertz is a salary saver and he's cheap. He's like $5,100. If he had a wide receiver name by him, he would look like one of the best wide receiver plays on the slate. Just like he looks like the best tight end play on the slate for me. I don't think you have to go down. Like, you don't need to save cash this week. If you're in your cash game this week and you're trying to pay down to the bottom to just like save cash, you're doing it wrong in my opinion. The most expensive, there's only one guy above $8,000 on this slate. That's crazy. You're naturally saving cash. Your lineups are naturally going to be balanced. So you don't need to go to the bottom, in my opinion. Can you open the wide receiver page? Yeah. Been a sub since 4K. Love your style, Sal. Adderall is a powerful thing, says Nate. Never done Adderall. Never really done any drugs. So, false. Slayton in a GPP, if you want. I don't have any, really. Would you trade Devontae Adams for Miles Sanders in a season-long league? Yes, I would. Who's a better play than Gage? A $5,100 if Julio is out. Who's a better play than Gage at $5,100? I mean, look, if Julio's out, it's not helping Gage all that much. Gage is going to still stay in the slot. His role does not change on that team. Christian Blake will go to the outside. Oladirius, whatever his name is, will go to the outside. Jordan Reed, good for a DK GBP. Decent, but not great. Explain the spreadsheet. The spreadsheet behind me, it's really basic. It's literally it's names, teams, price, super draft price, jock market, rank, fantasy points per game, yes, no, maybe, notes. And then there's a bunch of other stats for each position that you can get that along. So somebody else asked what's involved in Patreon. That also is involved in Patreon. We've been live for an hour right now. We're going to keep going because screw it. I was only going to go live for an hour. We'll go for a little bit longer. There's almost 1,100 of you in here. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Robert Woods or Tyler Boyd. Robert Woods. Big Ben or Brady in season long. Big Ben. Joshua Kelly over Gurley or Fournette. I would start Fournette over Kelly. I would probably start Kelly over Fournette. Or I would start Gurley over Kelly and Kelly over Fournette. You need to save cash if you want to fit Hopkins. No, you don't. Not in my opinion. I mean, not the line that I'm making. Sal, I'm already cheap at tight end Herndon, but can't get up to Hopkins. Yeah. Seems rough. I want to play Hopkins. I don't want to play dust at the bottom. Sal, weed is not a drug. I have not smoked the marijuanas in probably 5 or 6 years. Just don't have any interest. Not against it. Just don't have any interest for me. John Brown or Diggs? Go Diggs. Big Ben or Brady? Big Ben. Appreciate it. No problem. Newton and Edelman 100. Looks good. Sal, I appreciate it. Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it. How about Tyler Higbee? No interest. What did you get a degree in? I did a 5-year master's program. It was a 5-year program in accelerated master's, business strategy. The undergrad portion of it was human resources. Cooper Kupp or Corey Davis? Cooper Kupp. Keep hustling, bro. Thanks. I appreciate it. Would you start Curtis Samuel? Not for me. DeAndre Swift breaks out today. Hopefully. That'd be cool. How much Antonio Gibson do you have? I think I have like 5 percentage points on Antonio Gibson. Let's see. Running backs. Tony Gibson, I got 6%, 9 lineups. So a decent amount of Antonio Gibson. Probably above the field. Can I get your Ridley projection? Yeah, I don't have any interest in Ridley today. It's just his price point is getting to a spot I don't want to pay for it. I have him at 15.8 points, which makes him the worst value play in my model at the above $6,500 range. Somebody says marijuana's, LOL. Yeah, marijuana's. Late to the show. Thoughts on Ridley if Julio's out? No interest still. CeeDee Lamb or Gallup? Yeah, the question of the day will be CeeDee Lamb or Gallup. The answer for me is both. I have more Gallup and GPPs. If you're playing one lineup, I'd probably go CeeDee Lamb. Somebody tell me the 49ers win today. The 49ers win today. There you go. Hopefully that helps you. You're better to watch than them old guys on Fox and CBS. Oh, don't even get me started, Jerome Isaacs. I can't even imagine. It's mind-boggling to me. I'm assuming that they're seeing a money pit going down the drain. It is mind-boggling to me that people like watching 60-year-old players who played 30 years ago, like Terry Bradshaw, on Football in the Morning. Like, these shows are going to just get demolished by YouTube and Twitch. In like right now, yes, they're already being disrupted, but in 5 years, like, those guys aren't going to have jobs. And they shouldn't have jobs right now. Look, don't want to take the cheddar away from any man, but they're awful at what they do. Tannehill thoughts. Mark donates $5. I appreciate it. My thoughts on Tannehill is that I don't have any interest. I don't have any ownership there. I get it. They have a... So, like, right now, what you're seeing out of Ryan Tannehill, I have him projected for 17.6 points. It makes him a C+ in cash and a C+ in GPPs for me. I don't have any ownership. Good matchup against Minnesota. I don't really think he's going to win a GPP on 25 attempts. What is your highest owned player? My highest owned player is DeAndre Hopkins at 51%. Jordan Reed or Hayden Hurst? Hayden Hurst. Kirk is out for the Cardinals. Would you pick up another receiver besides Hopkins? No. I would love to pick your brain for a half hour on DFS. Yeah. You can ask a question here, but probably not going to set a half hour aside these days. I'm trying to lessen my time working and talking about DFS and explore other interests and hobbies because I think that's healthy and the only way that you grow. Can you see the running backs sheet? Sure. Somebody says, don't get him started on that. Yeah, Mike. Yeah, this man Mike already knows. I know what TV producers are doing. They're like 50 and 60-year-olds that are like CEOs and heads of these TV companies and stuff that they can care less who the hell's on these shows at this point because these shows are still getting views, but they don't notice how they're slowly going down and how it's not appealing to the growing demographic of people that don't give a shit about Terry Bradshaw and who the fuck and how good he was with the Steelers back in the day. And when he's like, nobody gives a shit. Like, his analysis is dog shit. His personality is dog shit. Like, the play can only go so far for so many years, and it's those years are up. Goddard versus Fan. I'll go Goddard. Connor and Mixon in a GPP. Mixon for me. What is Gallup's ceiling in tonight's kind of game? 20 plus points. I have Gallup projected for like almost 16 fantasy points. Like, he looks fucking amazing to me. Gallup currently is for all wide receivers, my number 2 wide receiver value play. Gallup's ceiling is 25 plus fantasy points. Yeah. A lot of people in here. Can I see that running back ranking in the back, brother? Yeah, what do you mean, the running back ranking? What you mean? It's right here. There's no rank. These aren't rankings, by the way. My rankings are on Patreon. It's linked down below. These are just interests. These definitely aren't rankings. Nelson Aguilar, sneaky GPP. No, thank you. Herndon or Atkins? Herndon, by far. Jonathan Taylor and Amari Cooper, or Zeke and CeeDee Lamb? Jonathan Taylor and Amari Cooper for me. Not a Dak stack. Not a Dak stack, changes that a little bit because I don't want Zeke with Dak. I'll still go Jonathan Taylor and Amari. Flex spot. What would you charge for an hour of your time to talk DFS? I don't have any interest in doing that. I would probably charge, for an hour of my time, I would probably charge somewhere around $200 to $300. But I don't have any interest in doing that because that's how much that time is worth to me. Yeah. And I mean, like, my actual time, it would be worth around there. Flex spot, Corey Davis or Gage? I'll go Davis. Rojo or Jeff Wilson? Jeff Wilson for me. Gallup or McLaurin? Gallup. Fuller or AJ Green? AJ Green. Why aren't you on Derrick Henry? He just doesn't come up. He's not in a good game stacking option. And I have all the other guys that are priced around him projected for more, and I have all the other guys that are lower a lot better. Top QBs for the early games. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know the difference between the early and late games as of right now. I don't have that in my sheet. But my top value QBs today are Cam Newton, Kyler Murray, Carson Wentz, Dak Prescott, Russell Wilson, Justin Herbert, Matt Stafford, Josh Allen. In that order. Montgomery question mark for a GPP. Donates $2 to the stream. I currently have Montgomery projected for 12.4 fantasy points. He looks decent, but not that great. I don't have any interest in GPPs. David Montgomery, I have 0%. Oh, no. Here's a lie. 1% David Montgomery. So he's all the way at the bottom. What's the deal with Tony Michel? He sucks. How much is too much Eckler? I currently have Eckler in only 5% of my lineups. I had like 12% earlier, but changed some things. Good morning, Sal. Thanks for the information. Have a great day. Thank you. I appreciate you. Can you switch to the tight end play, please? Yeah, no problem. Here you go. Season long, Diggs or Harry? Diggs. Michael Gallup or Joshua Kelly? Michael Gallup, not even close. Taylor or Connor? Taylor, not even close. Singletary or Fournette? Singletary. Flex spot, McKinnon or Fournette or Joshua Kelly? McKinnon. Somebody says, LOL, not your butt. That guy's way far back. Do you like Houston or Tampa Bay's wide receivers more this week? I don't like either. I don't have ownership to a Houston receiver or a Tampa Bay receiver. I have 1% ownership to Evans and Godwin, so I guess I'll go Tampa Bay guys, but I don't really like them. Are you kidding us? I'd pay $200 for Alex Baker's time. For Sal Vetri's time, I paid $14 an hour of your time, says David. Yeah, that's why it's not for sale. My time in my actual life, like for you to buy my leisure time, is worth way more. $14 is obviously a troll. Not even close. My actual time, like business-wise, my per hour rate is around that. So that's what I would charge. But my actual time to buy back my leisure time should be like $500 an hour. Just like if I was like, hey, you're hanging out with your kids today or your wife today and your family, how much time for me, how much is it going to cost? What's it going to be worth for you to give up an hour of that time? I'd start that number at $500. Obviously, if I'm in a situation where I need money, yeah, I'd do more, but I don't need money, and I don't want to be doing that. Which one is Robinson or Edelman? Wilson or... Which one, Robinson or Edelman or OBJ? I will go with... My projection is probably going to tell me OBJ is very similar. Let me pull this up. OBJ and Robinson I have as like coin tosses. I'll go Robinson. $10 donation from Ying Yang. What's up, man? He says CeeDee Lamb, Gallup, McLaurin, Kenny Golladay, Hopkins, and Raid. Gage, pick 3. Definitely Hopkins. So I will say Hopkins, Golladay, and Gallup for upside. If you are nervous about Galladay's health, then Gallup, CeeDee Lamb, and Hopkins. Jeff Wilson Jr. or McKinnon? Jeff Wilson. Hurst, Henry, or Goddard? They're all so close. They are literally back-to-back in my projections. They're all like projected for the same amount. I'll go Henry. Do you have any James Conner? Yeah, low single digits. I was late. Can I see the QB page? Sure. Which one? Sal might hold out for more money. LOL. No, I just don't got to do it. New to the show. Great stuff. Love your pace. What position do I stack running backs with? No position. Some people like, and also welcome to the show, Adam. Some people like stacking running backs with their defense. I think that correlation is very low, so I don't do it. I think it's overrated. Somebody says, you sure you're not smoking $200 or $300 for your time? Please. I mean, you're asking me how much to buy back my leisure time. I'm not going to just get on a phone unless it's worth it to me. And that's the price. $500 is the price point to where it would start to become worth it to me to get on the phone with somebody during my leisure time. And my leisure time is me doing the stuff that I don't do during work. So, yeah, that time is valuable to me. That is the whole idea of leisure versus work time. That is the whole idea of negotiating. And also, if you're somebody who thinks that you can determine the price of my time, which clearly a lot of people have thought that in the past, and all those people, in my opinion, have been wrong to this point because of where I currently am at with the career that I've chosen, that's comical. Appreciate you, Sal. Keep it up. You as well. Do you think Freeman gets a big workload? No. Deontay Johnson or CeeDee Lamb? CeeDee Lamb. Just got here. Can you explain McKinnon versus Wilson for me? Yes, I think Wilson sees more touches. I have Wilson projected for more, and he's cheaper. So I have a good amount of Wilson and no McKinnon right now. Top 3. I think McKinnon's a fine GPP play, though. Just not getting any. Adam Humphries in cash? Not for me. Just got offered Allen Robinson for Lamb in a season-long league. Should I accept? I would prefer Allen Robinson there, so yes. Corey Davis, cash viable, or would you rather go Humphrey? I would rather go neither. Thanks, Sal. When you work 80 hours a week, leisure time is priceless. Exactly. So you go. Cheryl gets it. I have tried to cut back, though. I'm definitely not working 80 hours a week like I was last year because I was getting burnt the fuck out, and I don't think that's healthy. It's fine if you're younger and you're trying to build something, but cut it back a little bit. But yes, exactly. Working 60 hours a week through 6.5 days now. That leisure time, not a lot of things that I would want to add on to that time. I'm going to join your Patreon next week. Just don't have the time to make all the lineups today. Thanks for all your advice. Appreciate it, Matt. Yeah, definitely. If you have any questions, just let me know. Thoughts on Todd Gurley? I have 1%. It's really rough right now for Todd Gurley. I just dumped him in my main season-long league. Luckily, got McCaffrey back in the deal. I traded Metcalf and Gurley. I can't stand it right now. Sal's giving you a free hour and a half of his time every Sunday. Yeah, there you go. What's up, Mike? How you doing? What's a good stack with Cam Newton? The best stack for Cam Newton is Edelman plus N'Keal Harry, if you're going with a full-on stack. No McLaurin love? This man says, get off your Iron Throne right now. This man just doesn't understand what confidence is when other people are trying to assume my worth. That's funny. Wipe the Cheetos off your chest, by the way. Probably going to make a stain. Family time is priceless. 100%. Yeah, see? Who argues with a guy about his personal time? Yeah, it's so funny. It's so funny. No McLaurin love? I have a little bit of McLaurin. I currently have McLaurin in 3% of my lineup, so I'm not really getting too much love, right? Why are people off of McKinnon today? I don't think they are. I think he's going to be double-digit owned. They're pretty close to it. I figured he would be a nice play this Sunday. Yeah, I think a good amount of people will be on him. Landry or Edelman? Edelman for me. DK cash. I need Hopkins with Kyler, question mark. I prefer Hopkins over Kyler in cash this week. Jarvis Landry or Edelman? Edelman. Lockett or Metcalf? I have more Lockett right now, but if you're building one lineup, I prefer Metcalf because he's going to be lower owned. I would like to get more Metcalf, but I don't want to just bump the projection up just because I want to get it. I think that's one spot where they're appropriate. I have 22% Lockett, 13% Metcalf. DK thoughts today? I think he looks good. What's up, Sal? Let's get this money. Yeah, let's get this money. Best of luck. What time is it? 11:12. I'll go live. I'll be live for 3 more minutes. We're almost at 1,100 people. Everybody in here, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Hope you're all having a fantastic day. James Conner, a monster day? I hope not. Don't have a lot. Hopkins freaks me out. How does Arizona not get up and run all day? They got a 30-point total. The only way that you run the ball and run the clock out is if you're up 2 to 3 scores in the fourth quarter. They're going to keep throwing. Murray's going to throw at least 25 times today. And based on Hopkins' target share means that he'll still see 8 to 10 targets in that. Harry or Fitzgerald? Harry for me. Thoughts on Mike Davis? I've got 5%. I'm not that high on him. I might have even gotten less after this last crunch. Let's see. I'm not that high on Mike Davis today. I understand why people want to be. I understand I only have 2% Mike Davis now. So yeah, I'm definitely not high on him. Can you show the wide receiver screen? Yeah, definitely can. Any love for Browns running backs? No. Nick Chubb is a decent tournament play. I have 3%, but no Hunt, and I just prefer a lot of other guys, a lot. I have 10% or more of 10 running backs right now. Season long, Wilson Jr. or Gallman? Wilson Jr. Best running back and wide receiver for a GPP. If I knew, I'd probably be winning the Millie Maker today. I could answer specific questions, but we'll go with Aaron Rodgers and Aaron Rodgers. Thoughts on Daniel Jones? No real interest. I think what's happening with Daniel Jones will improve. I don't have any today. Sterling Shepard being out is not as important as it might seem. If anything, I think it might open up more usage for Tate and Ingram in the middle of the field. Joe Burrow, Tannehill. I have 0% of both. If you force me to pick one, I would pick Joe Burrow, just based on volume. What's up, Sal? Congrats on all the success. Been here since the beginning. What's up? How you doing, Brian? Antonio Gibson, Deion Lewis, or Jeff Wilson Jr. How did it come to this? Antonio Gibson. I don't think those are bad options. They all potentially in a couple weeks could have a lot of upside, but I think Antonio Gibson has real upside. Wilson or Prescott? Prescott for me. Ying Yang donates $3 just for the hell of it, and he says fist bump. There you go. Start Julio? Question mark. I'm probably looking for an alternative to Julio this week. If we have any decent backups, I'd start them. Would you play Gronkowski? No, he's a offensive lineman. Hopkins 6.5+ catches. That'd be cool. He can get it done on that, sure. Did you win any money last week? Oh my God, last week was brutal. If you played 150 lineups and came out positive without like banking a first place prize, I mean, let's just start it with this. I had 60% Paris Campbell, and on the first play, his first play gets a 7-yard carry, and he's done for the rest of the season, right? I kind of like avoided a lot of other landmines though. Like guys were going down left and right. I had no Saquon. McCaffrey I didn't have much of. He got hurt late though. But yeah, 60% Paris Campbell ruined my day pretty quickly. A lot of my lineups were extremely promising. Paris Campbell was in my main single entry lineup, so a lot of that shit was promising, and a lot of it was dead, right? Being over the field on Miles Sanders, being over the field on Jonathan Taylor, being over the field on every guy that seemed to pay off in my single entry lineup, at least. Jordan Reed in the tight end spot, right? Goes off 2 touchdowns with zeros. Or no, it was like 1.7 or 0.7 points from Paris Campbell. So last week was brutal. Rich Marte says, just the thanks. Oh, he says, just the thanks. Very kind of you. Thank you. He donates $5 to the stream. Appreciate that. All right, I'm going to bounce in 1 minute. KJ Hamler, I got 4%. Both Drake and Hopkins in cash. Yeah, so I really don't want that much of 2 guys from the same team. I prefer Hopkins over Drake in cash, but Drake they're both strong cash plays. I think Hopkins is the number 1 wide receiver play this week in all formats, and I think Drake is, based on, let me factor this, I think Drake's like a top 5 cash option. So yeah, you could play both of them in cash. How come you don't stack quarterbacks or running backs? I used to, and I did week 1. There's just not a strong correlation between a quarterback and a running back. There's not. The reason why you're stacking players is for correlation. A quarterback throws a 50-yard touchdown to a wide receiver. All those points are directly correlated. Or let's just say it this way. A quarterback's wide receiver has 100 yards and a touchdown. All those points are directly correlated with the quarterback. A running back has 100 rushing yards and a touchdown and 3 catches for 40 yards. Only 1.5 of those points is correlated with the quarterback. The 3 catches for 40 yards. For the quarterback's points, right? So that doesn't feel like great. Do you think Jonathan Taylor is overpriced? No, Jonathan Taylor is underpriced, in my opinion. You're the best, man. Appreciate it. Best of luck. Have a great day, everybody. Have a good day. Have a good day. Can we see the quarterback page real quick? Yeah, no problem. OBJ or Scary Terry? OBJ. Sell out on Jordan Reed? Yeah, you should sell him in your season-long leagues if that's what you're saying. Tannehill or Herbert? Herbert for me. I got burned by Paris over Deontay last week. Same. Brutal times. Michael Pittman Jr., a sneaky play? I think so. I think he's a decent GBP play. Yo, guys, Julio Jones or Traquan Smith? I think Julio's going to miss. And if he plays, I think he'll be limited. But, yeah, it's tough. I don't want to play Julio anywhere this week. What's the best Chargers stack? Herbert, and then 2 of Mike Williams, Hunter Henry, and Allen. Probably Hunter Henry and Allen the most for me. Allen Robinson versus Gallup. Robinson. Who's going to be the most popular quarterback this week? Kyler Murray. He's going to be the most popular. He's not my most popular, though. Mine's Dak. All right, cool. I'm going to bounce. All right, everybody, before you go, please do hit the like and subscribe. Check out Jock Market. Their app is linked down below. Daily Fantasy Sports meets the stock exchange. I've got about 40 minutes to get all of my bids in because I assume the second I open this Jock Market app, everybody will have outbid me by now. So be sure to get up in there, check them out. They're linked down below. It takes 2 seconds of your time. You click the link, you download the app, and you play around there. It's really fun. There's a free contest with $1,200 up for grabs. So check that out. You buy low on players, their stocks for the Sunday into Monday night games. It's really fun. A couple of hints, just save some of your money until like right before bidding so you have money to actually use. That burnt me last week, and it'll probably burn me this week. We'll see. You scroll through all the pages. Much love for the time, Sal. Yeah, no problem. Thank you. I appreciate it. We're going to have to meet up at the bar sometime, Sal, and watch some of these games and have drinks. Good luck, man. Yeah, man. Definitely, Mike. I'm going to be heading downtown probably closer to 4 and not 1 for these games. My buddy's a Cowboys fan. I'm a Packers fan, and I'll watch some of the games then. But, yeah, I'll probably be downtown. Thanks a lot, Sal. You're the best. Thanks. I appreciate it. I meant Reed in my lineup. Have so far. Yeah, I have like 2% Reed. Have a good day. All right, fellas, have a good day. Like and subscribe before you go. You check out Patreon, linked down below. Jock Market is the sponsor of the show, so thank you to Jock Market. Fellas over there, really cool. They have some updates coming for their app very soon in all formats. A release date, hopefully soon, for the Google Play Store Android version and a new version for the Apple. They're trying to get betas approved, so pretty cool stuff. Best of luck, everybody, today. Somebody go knock something down, and then just enjoy the day, right? Don't just tilt your face off. Just realize that you're getting to watch football, which is better than not having football like some people were thinking months ago. Reasonable thoughts to have. So thank you, everybody. Enjoy the day. Hopefully there's beautiful weather by you. If not, just make it a good one. All right, gang. Peace out. Fun time, fun hour in 20 mini-osos. Appreciate it.